I think a lot of people post a video for their introduction as like a nice wooded area and stuff. But there's something to say about like life in a suburb. It's my You're not gonna be able to see it. That's my grass, and across this right here, and I'm on a sidewalk. Go right here, and I have these rights again, and there's no illusion of how those are maintained. They're like a pattern of force almost, but without it, there wouldn't have ever been an opportunity to have a singular society. Now here, I'm not sure. Like all of a sudden, because like there's a tree here. I know you can't see it now with this light. That's all the lights that's coming off the moon for me on this phone. I got a flash on it. It's the best I can do right now. But it's a beautiful tree. Maple, almost perfectly symmetrical. I mean, it's straight, strong. It's kind of it's kind of tree you would take a leaf and just make a rubbing of it and find it like 25 years later. But here, they have access to cut that tree if they wanted to. It's not really my tree, it's the city's tree. In this particular town, this is the city's tree. And those plants are maintained by that home. But this tree, there's no doubt about that. It's a serious tree. It's got a job. Oof. Oh man. It's solid too. All compacted. Good grass, Someone cared about this grass. A little bit of time with me around, stuff like this starts to come in. Beautiful. There's more of them. They're starting to thrive. Every once in a while, there's still that, no matter where you go out here, there's a plane. You get off a path, go to a place you think there's no path, and all of a sudden there's a path. Oh man. That's a big one. He's got a job to do, right? Wow. You know what? He knows I'm here. He's not going the direction that he wanted to go. He took a left turn. There's interruptions that happen every time you even try this. But this land here, relatively small, has a lot of character. There's so much to take care of and explore in a small area. It's nice, isn't it? Everything's going to be okay. Someone's here now. It's all right. He was always here. Never went anywhere. He didn't need my help one way or the other. Lots of them out there. Just because you can't see them, there's clues. And you reach your mind. You see it. You can send and receive this way. People think that the best way to use this is sending and receiving to other people. And it's limited in a way. Give credit. To give advice, you must, judge whether or not the person is of the disposition to receive it. From a really good book that I read. Not everything needs to be my thought. I may want to talk about translocational theory with you and teleportation practices. If you're interested in that, please let me know. If you have any good resources. That box. It's called a blue box. This one's loose. Shut the water off, supposedly, to this house from here. Freshly marked. Water. What is that? 99 or 66? Or is that symbol something else? Can't tell. I'll have to look it up. I'm sure it's just part of their code. Something tells them something. In a computer. The pathways of electricity are much different than that tree. So I'm not sure of my rights here. I definitely cut the grass when I can. I try to do my best for the people that have been there for me. Oh, look at that. That is a weed wrapper from 2 years ago. Made its way to the garbage, which I pay to have picked up. Thank you to those people. It's a good Malcolm Middle episode where the Hal gives them the men who pick up his garbage, the garbage men. It's a horrible thing to say, but that's what the blue box people call them. Some people that believe that those words are not to be spoken. They are to be spoken. Without this, there can be no awareness. But this I threw out after unpacking a bag so I can stay here a little bit. More than a little bit, hopefully. I like being here. You lose the feelings of the people around you when you're like this sometimes. It's understandable. You can barely tell what your real voice is sometimes. 5 minutes ago, across that church, this is a church. Methodist, no, I don't know. No, Lutherans down the street. Nice gentleman told me about this church. Wanted to know if I wanted a van, because I was looking at a little lot that was parked there for a few years. I talked to the woman, she wanted $6,000 for the van. It had mold growing on it. Someone could have done something with it, but right now it's sitting at a tow yard. Planes. They're not here during the daytime. Here, this is the driveway, very large for the church. Around here, I began to act like my father. I took a photo of this place. From far away. I had one of those difficult to deal with feminine, masculine dynamics within myself. My next video will post from a few days ago, something very personal to me, where I actually recorded a feminine voice that I have. I guess that's a part of me. or I'm not impervious to the emotions from my loved ones, and when it needs to come in to handle that load for them. Being open to receive it. This is an interesting symbol. I support it. Now I can be able to see this. The brightness, probably. Maybe. I'm fine for parking here in these two spaces. People get upset about fines. But they pay for the nice people that pick up our garbage sometimes. This is old. Older than 2 years. This isn't something to be thrown away. But I threw it away and somehow survived the trash can. Today was day 2 without weed. Boy, that plant. And my heart hurts so much. But I couldn't take it. After day 2, and I had to have a little. But the thing about this is, I think I took this at a time when I was so locked up. And there was something about this that once a week or every other week, my friend and I would go to a movie and we would take 1 square of this. And it got to be where you didn't have to have any alcohol. As long as this was around, it was all good. You didn't have to get a release that way. You know, not everybody's meant to build the next thing, develop transparent aluminum, figure out how to make AI connect to fleas. Some of us are just here and we want to check this stuff out a little bit. Like, what does that mean? Why is it so important to find for these spots, which I agree with, enough to have multiple of those signs at different locations? My railing doesn't look like this. This is well done. Same exact style. My railing. I did help. Did the best I could. Huh. Mine's chipped and flaking and has rust on it. I may want to do something about that soon. It's okay to think about the future a little bit. When they talk about living in the now, I always loved the Orwellian books. 1984. The Dark Tower. A lot of similarities in some of these books. But something to do with rights makes sense to me. And my understanding of people who need to be in the desert or living together in caravans and RVs are doing what they think is right. Opting out. This is a Methodist church. Open hearts, open minds, open doors. Roselle, UMC. I hope it's a double-sided sign. That is quite the missed opportunity. Because as I see it, that street goes that direction, where people who cannot see this sign and that direction where they can. Wow. Hello, friend. There can be code within languages. Friend. 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 Now, between two people, you have a language. And from there, depending on the length of the connection, the further out you go, you get some really interesting accumulations. And you step on it. Oh, man. That's like heaven. This is where I was. Where I came out. Here. It's mostly a voice that I've gathered and know was there before a father said, don't hold my hand a certain way. I loved beauty. I stood a certain way, and I liked to play, and I liked to look at ants, and I did things sometimes to look at grasshoppers and things like that, and it's what I like to do. That's part of me, and that's where my voice sometimes comes to what I think is like a normal voice. Like something that you can, I don't know, approximate like I guess what the most amount of people I can interact with, which I guess in the end is like living in part of something like this, a crossroads. So like you got to go that way or that way, right? So I don't really know. Voice identification is a very important principle. Knowing who you are, who you want to be. If I wanted to be somebody that could travel through time, I would utilize the existing laws to do so. There's access points just like anything else. And when you're safe and you have no reason to fear anything, you shouldn't have to have any issues or problems. I definitely got away from there as quick as I could. That's where I was standing when that happened, by the way. I saw those signs, and I think I knew what they were from riding my bike around here during the daytime. I thought it was something about a security system. And my family lost a cat here, second day in Christmas time. I was going door to door, trying to find this cat, and I was putting flyers in the doors because it was Christmas Eve, and I didn't think it was gonna work. Me knocking on everybody's door looking for a cat. So I had these photos printed up of the cat at Walgreens, put them in everything within a certain number of feet, and I know that house because I was walking by it. I just put it in the door, and I must have put 150 of these flyers in the doors that on Christmas Eve last year, 2024, and they came out almost immediately. And there were signs everywhere saying they had video cameras. The thing is, it was just a sweet, sweet little old lady that valued her security and her privacy. And causes disturbance from time to time. I started a new job at a top 5 high school in the state that I live in the fall. Basically, still summer. And some things from time to time, they got to stop. There's stuff you got to do. Got to do it a certain way. But it doesn't really matter so much. Because it's just like chutes and ladders. You got to remember that it's just as easy as that. Pastor, this guy's, or someone that's on the board, his name is John. He's a cool guy. I'm going to go back to my property now. I don't really own it. You don't really own anything. You're just here for a little while. Get to be here. That's some stuff I gotta sell. So I guess it's about these rights. There are patterns of force. And knowing where they go has a lot of different perspectives. There's this thing called a Lichtenberg wood burner. I just made an order for one today. And what happens is you put these two electrodes, like at certain points, right? Like one's here and one's here. And they create an electrical arc between the wood, or between the 2 points. And what happens is the wood gets burned into unique patterns in between. And make for like a great project, like for an add-on for something that I like to do is make copper trees. And it's a good place to do that. Do some of that work. Oof. Take a picture of that right there for me. I want to say thank you. It's late. For those people out there that may not have ever known just how many lenses you could see through, you can love them too.